Hey guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today I'm reviewing Love at First Sight, now streaming on Netflix. This movie is actually based on the novel The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight, and once I learned the name of the novel, it really makes the film make a little bit more sense, because throughout this movie, one of our main characters, Oliver, played by Ben Hardy, is constantly thinking about things in a statistical manner. He's going to Yale for statistics. He's someone who really thinks about things in a very analytical way. He's afraid of surprise due to some things that have happened in his past, so he's always talking about the probability of things happening, and they kind of throw that as a character element beginning of the story, and by the end it kind of comes full circle of what he's doing throughout the film. But having known that title actually makes it make a little bit more sense to me, at least. And I have to say, I actually really enjoyed this film. Is it perfect? No. Is it an amazing romantic comedy that will stand the test of time? Probably not, but I think it's incredibly cute while also being heartwarming and a bit of a tearjerker, and I always like that from these movies. I want to feel something. I don't want to think that it's too cheesy or too melodramatic that I can't connect with the film, and I feel like this one skirted the line pretty well. There are some, typical rom-com elements that you come to expect in these somewhat formulaic stories that we've seen over and over again, but I think the chemistry of our main characters and their performances and kind of their personal family elements help elevate the film quite a bit. Haley Lu Richardson plays our other main lead in this film. You may know her from White Lotus or 5 Feet Apart. I don't think this performance is quite on par with those other two, because I personally really enjoyed 5 Feet Apart, and White Lotus is such a prestige kind of series, I wouldn't expect that, but I will say she feels a little underdeveloped in this role. I know she's a great actress, and she does give a solid performance of what she's given, and I think it may be the nature of this film only being an hour and a half long that's kind of a double-edged sword. It moves really quickly, it's easy to consume, but we don't get a lot of time with our characters. We don't really get to dive deeper than kind of their surface level personalities, along with some kind of traumatic events of their life that have kind of molded them, and I would like to see more of their relationship, more of them together, more of them growing. So I think that's something that's just a little bit off with this film. I think both the main leads have a couple scenes in particular that are quite impactful and very, like I said, tear-jerking and emotional. Our one character is dealing with the loss of a family member, and the other one's dealing with coming to grips with a family divorce, and when those scenes are forced to confront these conflicts, I think those are some of the best in the film. When they're together, it works really well. They're really cute and quirky and easy to relate to, but we're seeing them kind of stand up for their struggles and come together in that. I think that was kind of what makes the movie work, if you will. In many ways, this movie reminded me of some young teenage romance comedy films that came out when I was just starting college or when I was graduating high school, so it really resonated with me, and I think kind of using that formula of young love and trying to explore and understand yourself while being thrown into kind of this whirlwind romance, it's just fun to watch, it's fun to enjoy and consume that kind of content. That being said, it does feel like it can be a touch manipulative at times, because when you're dealing with divorce or death, those are really, really strong concepts that resonate with people. And when you kind of put that into a film without really fully fleshing it out, you just kind of are manipulating your audience in a way. I'm not saying that it's bad. I think all films to some degree can be manipulative, especially romance films that deal with any kind of tragic loss. But I think they handled it fairly well in this film, but like I said, I would have liked a more in-depth exploration of these characters and their relationships. So if I were to rate Love at First Sight, I would actually give it a 6.5 out of 10. I think it's an above average rom-com, especially that's been put out from Netflix. There's so many that have gone up on these streaming platforms that just feel very paint by numbers and cheesy and kind of lack the impact of more prestige romantic comedies or romance films in general. I think this one is a little bit above that caliber. So if you end up checking out Love at First Sight, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. Did you like it as much as me? Did you like it less? I always love to hear everybody's opinions, and especially if you read the novel, I'm sure it explores far more into these characters. It actually made me interested in maybe reading a synopsis or checking into how maybe it plays out in the novel, because I liked these characters and I liked this story, but I felt like I just didn't get enough from the film. So again, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time.